I'm probably going to title this video Why I Love Clay Soil. Uh, this is just a huge slab of clay here that it covers most of the county. Of course, in my garden it's been amended quite a bit, but there's no barriers between what I've amended with and the soil. It's all soil now, and it's mostly clay. Um, it's almost entirely clay and organic matter, and I just love it. We're getting the most amazing growth. Each year it gets better and better. That's some sort of summer squash volunteer right there. It's growing kind of inconveniently right in the middle of the path that goes through this arch that's going to hold our beans. But I like volunteers. I left it, and hopefully we'll get something off of it that we can eat. There's another one that just decided to grow in that path right there. We're also getting just wonderful, gigantic, for us, onions already. Onions are very picky, I've found. They really don't want any competition, and they really like consistent moisture, which we did not have. We had about 3 weeks in the beginning part of June where we didn't get any measurable rainfall, but apparently the soil has improved to the point that these onions didn't care. They're just going gangbusters. There's a kale that actually survived the winter, and I just let it be. It's in there with our pepper plants. Inside this little tunnel here, what we did here is I just bought some eggplant plants. We put them in here, we mulched, we covered it up. We haven't really done anything since, and they're doing really well. As are the tomatoes, considering it's been an extremely cool early summer. Bed of potatoes, just super healthy looking. That little borage plant, not little anymore, it was quite small when I bought it, and it just took off. It's branching out everywhere, really making a nice show in that bed. More onions. Here's summer squash and zucchini that we actually planted, trying to give you a perspective on how huge those plants really are. I just love it. I love large plants with large leaves. That's why I love my banana trees so much. One reason. Just take a little stroll over here to the more ornamental areas. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit, so this is probably going to be cut short. Here is the start of the bean wall. You can see that wire fencing that we attached to those tall T-posts to make a nice shady area. And it's almost as tall as me right now. That's the highest point that the bean vine has reached. So that's pretty good for the end of June here. Over here, I've got some purple cabbage. When I planted this, I had no idea that it was going to get this big. There's 6 cabbage plants in there, and they're just massive. They're just really taking over that bed. Over here, I really need to harvest this. Some nice cabbage heads ready to go. Huge cauliflower, not producing that well. It seems to be mostly leaves. We have eaten a little bit of it. And the prize winner over here is this ever-bearing blackberry. It's a monster. I bought one plant a year ago, planted it, and now it's all over the place. I prune it and it just keeps going and going. Here's some nice dinosaur kale that my son has been harvesting a lot of. Some hardy hibiscus. Again, this is just taking over, which is nice. It's going to be beautiful, but quite a bit larger than I thought it would be by now. Tomatoes are doing very well. We've actually got some little baby Romas down there. Again, considering what a cool summer this has been, the heat-loving plants are doing pretty well. And one of my favorite corners over here, the cup plant, is getting enormous, as is the trifoliate orange. And here's the original banana plant, and the chicory is blooming. I never cut this one back. It's blooming beautifully. And this is why I just cannot understand why people hate clay soil. Yes, it took me several years to get to the point where I don't have to worry that much about moisture. We're really at a perfect place right now. It drains well, but it retains just enough. So after plants are established, after seed beds sprout, we do not water, hardly at all. And I'm going to stop now because the sprinkling is getting a little bit harder.